Hello students, in our previous class we were reading the chapter The Little Girl, and in that chapter we studied, we read that Kezia, the main character of the chapter, the story, how she feared her father. When she used to come face to face with her father, she got scared. She always tried to avoid her father. That means she tried to avoid face to face contact or meeting with her father. Her father was a man of bold personality. Whenever he used to go to office, he would come to Kezia's room and he would give her a kiss, and then Kezia would bid him goodbye. And Kezia would be waiting for that particular kiss because she knew that as soon as she would get the kiss, her father would leave for office and she would be free. She would be tension free. She would not have to face her father, whom she feared and avoided. Then, when her father would return home in the evening, he would start placing. He would keep start ordering that his slippers should be bought, his tea should be served to him. Where if the newspaper had arrived or not. Kezia's mother would tell her that if she's a good girl, she would go to her father and help him to take out his boot. So Kezia would go, but unwillingly. She did not want to face her father. But as she was asked by her mother, she would have to go. And then her father, when he would see her, he would ask her if she had been a good girl that day. But Kezia would not be able to answer anything clearly. She just whispered. She stammered in front of her father. And then her father would get angry. When he would see Kezia and when he could make out that when Kezia used to come in front of her, she was not happy. She started stammering, could not speak to him in a comfortable way. So he used to get a little bit annoyed, and he used to tell her mother that she should tell his mother that she should teach Kezia some good manners. And then one day, Kezia, and even one day Kezia was having cold. She was lying in a room. Her grandmother came and told her that her father's birthday was falling the next week, and advised her that she should make a pin cushion as a gift for her father. And when her father would come to know that that particular pin cushion, that particular gift was made by Kezia herself, he would be happy, he would be glad, and she would be able to get closer to her father. So it was advised to Kezia by her grandmother. She also provided Kezia yellow silk. Kezia felt that that particular offer, that particular advice, the idea was a good one. So she took a yellow silk, she stitched the three sides. But now the main question was that what should be filled in that particular silk so that the cushion would be ready. She wanted to ask her grandmother, but grandmother was in the garden, so looking for scraps, that means pieces of paper or cloths. She wandered entered into her mother's bedroom. And on the table she saw lots of paper on the table. She immediately took those papers and tore them into small pieces and stuffed them into her pin cushion. And her pin cushion was ready. She was very happy. But at that night, she could hear that her father was very angry. She was shouting at the top of his voice. And she came to know that some important papers of her father were missing. The servants were asked. They were asked whether they had taken seen the papers. Frantic search was being made throughout the house. Then her mother came to her room, asked Kezia if she had seen the papers in her room on the table, and Kezia, very innocently, said that yes. And she told her mother what she had done with the paper. Her mother shook her head and she screamed, "What?" And then she immediately took Kezia to her father's room, where he was pacing up and down. Her father was in a great tense. He was tensed because those were very important papers, and those papers were torn into pieces and stuffed into the pincushion. When her father came to know, he got angry. He immediately told his mother that she should go to Kezia's room and bring that particular stuff for which Kezia had torn his important papers. Now, let's continue the chapter from paragraph 7. Crying too much to explain, she lay in the shadowed room watching the evening light make a sad little pattern on the floor. So dark here refers that there was no light in the room. Outside the room there was light, and the light that was entering through the windows, it was casting some shadows in the room. Then father came into the room with a ruler in his hand, and at the same moment father came into Kezia's room and he was having a ruler in his hand. "I am going to beat you for this," he said. And as soon as father came to Kezia's room, he told her that he was going to beat her for this. That means for tearing his important papers. "Oh, no," she screamed. The little girl tried to escape, tried to save herself from being beaten by her father. Hiding under the bedclothes, she tried to hide herself under the bedclothes. He pulled them aside, but her father removed the bedclothes. Here in this paragraph, father's strict behavior has been described. And father had come there to teach a lesson to Kezia, or she should learn a lesson that she should not touch those things which does not concern her. She should not lay hands on the things which does not belong to her, or without asking the parents. "Oh, no," she screamed, hiding under the bedclothes. He pulled them aside. The bedclothes under which Kezia was hiding, it was pulled aside. "Sit up," he ordered, "and hold out your hand." And he immediately ordered her that she should stretch out her hands for the cane. "You must be taught once for all not to touch what does not belong to you." And he told her that she should learn a lesson, that she should not touch the things which does not belong to her. Or if she wants those things, she should first ask or take the parents' permission. Otherwise, she would keep on doing the same mistake which she had done now by tearing the important document, the paper of her father. "But it was for your birthday," and she innocently told her father, but it was for her birthday gift. Down came the ruler on her little pink palm, and her little pink palm, she was a small girl, very innocent, and the ruler came on her soft pink palm. Father did not listen to her word that particular cushion was for his gift, for his birthday gift, but she received the canes on her pink palm. Hours later, when grandmother had wrapped her in a shawl and rocked her in the rocking chair, the child clung to her soft body And then grandmother came. She put her on the rocking chair and she clung to her grandmother affectionately. That meant she was very scared and clung to her grandmother. What did God make father for? She sobbed. She was crying and she asked her grandmother, why did God make fathers? For what purpose God had created fathers? Here is the clean hanky. Darling, blow your nose. Go to sleep. Pet, you will forget all about it in the morning. Grandmother tried to console her, tried to calm her, told her that she should wipe her tears with the handkerchief. And she said that she should try to sleep. And in the morning, she would forget what has happened with her. She would forget that she had received beating from her father. In the morning, everything will vanish. She would forget it like a nightmare. I tried to explain to father, but he was too upset to listen tonight. And Kezia told her grandmother. When father came to her room with the ruler, she tried to explain him that the particular cushion was for his birthday present. But he didn't listen. He was angry and he beat her. But the child never forgot. But Kezia did not forget. The next morning, Kezia did not forget the incident of the previous night. That means she was beaten by her father. It had a great impression on her mind. Next time she saw him, she quickly put both hands behind her back and had a red color flew over her cheek. And from that moment, whenever she saw her father, she immediately put her hand back. And her cheeks, they turned red with fear. And she immediately put her hands back so that she would not receive the beatings on them. The McDonald's lived next door. Now here the writer Catherine Mansfield is describing about Kezia's neighbors. That means the McDonald's. They had 5 children. The McDonald family had 5 children. Looking through the gap in the fence, the little girl saw them playing tag in the evening. And she used to watch the McDonald family playing with their children. And there was a hole in the fence. And she used to peep through the hole and see the happy family enjoying. McDonald children enjoying with their father. Tag is a children's game of catching one another. The father with the baby Mao on his shoulders, 2 little girls hanging on his coat pocket ran round and round the flower beds. So the father, along with his children, he used to play every evening. And Kezia, with great intent, used to watch them through the fence hole. And Mr. McDonald, with his 5 children, he used to play with the children. The children would be hanging from his pocket. He would make them sit on his shoulders. He would play tag with them. The children enjoyed a lot. With laughter, once she saw the boss turn the hose on him and tried to catch them laughing all the time. And she also saw that one day his sons tried to wet him through the water pipe. But instead of getting angry, Mr. McDonald tried to catch his children, not for beating, but for enjoying, for playing. That means McDonald and his children had a lot of fun. His children enjoyed. They were not afraid of him. McDonald's children were not afraid of their father, as Kezia used to. He was afraid of her father. Then it was she decided there were different sorts of father. And when Kezia saw Mr. McDonald enjoying, having fun, playing game with his children, Kezia thought about her father. The difference in nature of the two fathers, Mr. McDonald and her father. And then she was able to make out the difference. And she reached the conclusion that there are different kinds of father in the world. Suddenly one day, mother became ill and the grandmother went to hospital. So one day her mother became ill and her mother along with grandmother went to the hospital for treatment. The little girl was left alone in the house with Alice, the cook. The little girl, Kezia, was all alone at home. The cook, Alice, was there with her. That was all right in the daytime, but while Alice was putting her to bed, she grew suddenly afraid. But she didn't bother when it was daytime. Her father hadn't returned from office. And when it was her bedtime, she got scared, she was concerned. Because still it was evening, had her mother, grandmother, and even her father hadn't returned from office. Mother and grandmother had gone to the hospital. She was alone. When it was her bedtime, she was a little bit scared. The little girl was left alone in the house with Alice, the cook. That was all right in the daytime, but while Alice was putting her to bed, she grew suddenly afraid. What will I do if I have a nightmare? She asked the cook. That at night she would be sleeping, and if she would have a nightmare means bad dream. If she would have a night dream, what she would do? She asked. I often have nightmares, and she told the cook Alice that she often has nightmares. She gets scared in her sleep when she has the nightmares. And then Granny takes me into her bed, and she told Alice that whenever she has a nightmare, Granny comes to comfort her, and then she would take Kezia to her room. But that day she was alone. Mother and grandmother hadn't arrived from the hospital. Even father was in the office. I can't stay in the dark. It all gets whispery. And she said that she can't stay alone in the dark. She was scared. You just go to sleep, child, said Alice, putting off her sock. And Alice instructed her that she should go to bed. She should try to sleep. And don't you scream and wake your poor pa. And she told her that her father had arrived. He was in his room. He was busy in doing some official work. So when she will have a nightmare, she shouldn't scream and disturb her father. But the same old nightmare came. But as she was trying to sleep, she had the nightmare. Same nightmare which haunted her earlier also. The butcher, a person who cuts meat, animals, kasai. The butcher with a knife and a rope, and she saw in her dream that a very bold man with a very long knife and a knife in one hand, and in the other hand he was having a rope, who came nearer and nearer, smiling and dreadful smile. And she could see in a dream that the butcher with a knife and a rope was coming towards her, and he was laughing, smiling at her distress. While she could not move, could only stand still crying, and she could see in the dream that she was standing. She was crying, but she could not shout for help. And the butcher was coming towards her with a big knife. And could only stand still, crying out, "Grandma, Grandma." She woke shivering to see father beside her bed, a candle in his hand. And when she woke up from her sleep, she saw that, and she was calling her grandmother for help. She saw that Her grandfather was standing there with a candle near her bed. What's the matter? He said. And when he reached Kezia, he asked her what the matter was, why she was shouting, why she was scared. Oh, a butcher, a knife, I want, Granny. And she said that she had seen in a dream the butcher with a knife, and she said that she wants to go to her granny. He blew out the candle, bent down, caught up the child in his arms, carrying her along the passage to his big bedroom. He blew up the candle, bent down, and lifted Kezia in his arms, and took her through the gallery to his big bedroom. A newspaper was on the bed. A half-smoked cigar was near the reading lamp. So when she reached her room, her father's room, she could make out that her father was still doing some reading newspaper or doing some official work. He put away the paper, threw the cigar into the fireplace, then carefully tucked up the child. And then he put the child carefully on the bed, removed the paper, threw the cigar in the fireplace. He lay down beside her, half asleep still, and he also lay down beside Kezia. He was also feeling sleepy. Still with the butcher's smile all about her, it seemed. She crept, and then also she felt that the butcher was still lingering somewhere in the room with that long knife and the rope. So she clung to her father closely. She crept close to him, snuggled her head under his arm, held tightly to his shirt. So she was scared. Put her head close to her father's chest and she caught hold the shirt of her father tightly. Here, rub your feet against my legs and get them warm, said father. And father told Kezia that she should rub her feet against his, and then they would get warm. Tired out, he slept before the little girl. So he was also tired. He had been busy throughout the day. So he also slept there beside the little girl. A funny feeling overcame her. Poor father, not so big after all, and with no one to look after him. And a feeling was generated in her. The views, the notions that she had about her father, immediately they changed. And she called her father poor. She realized that her father worked in the office day and night, and still there was nobody to look into the house. There was nobody to look after him in the house. How much work he did. He worked day and night for his family. He was harder than grandmother. He was harder than grandmother, but she could feel that in nature her father was hard, a little bit rough, you can say, compared to her grandmother. But it was nice-hearted, but she could feel that hardness was also a good one, because it was for the first time she was sleeping with her father. She was so close to her father. And every day he had to work and was too tired to be Mr. McDonald. And she told herself that why her father could not play with her, because he worked day and night for the family. He was so much tired so that he could not be Mr. McDonald. That means he was so busy that he could not invest his little time also with Kezia. He was very busy. That's why he was not able to play with her. She has torn up all his beautiful writing. She stared suddenly and sighed. And then she remembered that how she had torn his important documents, writings. And with that thought, she stirred a little bit. She was scared a little bit. She got frightened. But what's the matter? Asked father another dream. And when there was movement in her body when she remembered that she had torn his important paper. Then father asked her, What was it? If she had seen the dream again, if she had the same nightmare of that butcher again. Oh, said the little girl, my head's on your head. My head's is on your heart. And then the little girl said that her head was on her father's heart. I can hear it going, and she could clearly feel the heartbeat of her father. What a big heart you have got, father dear. And she told her father that he has a very big heart. Now, when Kezia, the incident of that particular night changed Kezia's views regarding her father. Earlier, she felt that her father was very strict. He didn't have any sympathy. There was no affection for her. But when that night, when she slept, when her father soothed her, when her father tried to comfort her from the nightmare, she realized the feelings, the affection, the sympathy of her father. Thank you.